Hey guys, Magma here, and we're back with a brand new video, and I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man PS4 and my thoughts on it. And oh boy, do those graphics look nice. Like, Jesus, those graphics look amazing. Like, the production value is like really high in this game if you compare it to something like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which came out in 2014, which is the last Spider-Man game, and that game looked like crap. Like, the only good model in that game was Spider-Man. Everything else looked crap, like the NPCs, just overall the graphics were awful. So I'm so glad to see Spider-Man getting the proper, triple A, development put in there. So the production value looks amazing. I'm loving what they're doing with, Spider-Man in this game. And this is not canon to any of the, MCU films. This is its own universe, and that gets me even more excited, because previously with Spider-Man games, they had to do, like, either, like, make it about the film, but, take some liberties, like the Spider-Man 2 video game, or Spider-Man 3 video game, or do it where it's, like, a what-if scenario. Like, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 game takes place after the Amazing Spider-Man 1 movie. Then the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game is pretty much a sequel of the first game, but it has some events from the movie, but it's more of a what-if scenario. But here, this is completely non-canon, which gets me even more excited. And the villain here, we actually have two villains from this trailer, and that is Fisk, who is the Kingpin, and Mr. Negative. Now, these don't seem like pretty big villains, although we already knew that Mr. Negative was going to be in the game from a year ago, last year's E3, and the thing is, it's been a long time since we got any news on the Spider-Man game. Like, literally all we've got before was the, last year E3's trailer, and then they showed off the PS4 Pro 20-second clip, and now we have this 8-minute, gameplay presentation, I guess, on the Sony conference. So, all this Spider-Man stuff, like, Jesus, what they showed at the end, like, let's talk about Miles Morales, guys. Miles goddamn Morales. Like, the way they set this up is you see the entire, like, gameplay, and they end it, and then we have this, like, after credits scene almost, like a Marvel movie, where pretty much they have Miles Morales recording it on his phone. We don't know it's Miles Morales yet, but he's recording all this destruction that's been happening with the helicopter, and I was tangled up in a web. He's recording his phone, and then his friend tells him, come on, Miles, let's go. And he turns back and gives that smile. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Miles Morales is in this game. This gets me super excited, okay? I was already excited for this game, but now I'm even more excited for this game. Like, I'll definitely be doing more videos on Spider-Man PS4. I've got a few, like, videos planned, like a top 5 skins wish list and a top 5 villains wish list. So if you guys want more Spider-Man videos, leave a like down below. Just shows your support and lets me know what type of videos you guys want, so we can steer the channel in a certain direction of, type of content. Like Injustice 2, of course, is a big thing for this channel. But yeah, I just want to talk about Spider-Man PS4 right now. So the gameplay, they showed off, like, the fighting and stealth, and after, I have to say that this reminds me a lot of, like, the Batman Arkham games. I'd say specifically more Batman Arkham Knight, since that's the newest one. And when Spider-Man's doing all the stuff with his webs, like takedowns, and there's one part where he has, like, this thing, like a web on this, like, thing, and there's this guy walking by, and then he gets, like, pulled by the web. That reminds me of, like, some gadgets in Batman Arkham Knight. And the combat is still very similar to the Arkham games, or, the previous Amazing Spider-Man games, where he pretty much, here you just do a bunch of, presses of buttons, do a bunch of attacking, and then when you get to a certain combo that's unbroken, then you can do, like, special moves or finishing moves. So, we saw all of that, and we also saw there's 2 meters, so I don't know exactly what those meters do. I think one of them is, like, for, like, the web takedowns, because I saw them, like, go down when you're doing some stuff. But yeah, after that, we saw Fisk, and the Kingpin's in this game. I don't think he's going to be a major villain, because he's just kind of shown here. So I think he's just going to be like a side quest thing, or a very minor part of the story. But yeah, I know he's definitely going to have some part in the story. He was also in the previous Spider-Man game, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But yeah, again, Miles Morales. How is Miles Morales going to be incorporated in this game? Is there going to be 2 Spider-Men in this game of New York? Or is it just Miles Morales? Just here, he's just normal right now. He's not Spider-Man. Or has he already got his spider powers, but hasn't become Spider-Man yet? Or are we going to be able to interact with him? Is he going to be a part of the story? If they showed him in this trailer, that makes me believe that he's actually going to have a major part in the story. Like, maybe he's actually a side character, or he's involved with a side quest where Spider-Man Peter Parker actually gets to interact with Miles Morales. And this gives me one question, is are they going to do like sequels to this Spider-Man game? Maybe do like a Spider-Man game universe? And in the future, can we actually play as Miles Morales as Spider-Man? So I can, you know, shake things up as Miles Morales has different Spider-Man abilities and Peter Parker. So we've got more gameplay potential there. And Miles Morales, oh my god, is Miles Morales just a cool character, and I cannot wait to play as him. But yeah, hopefully, maybe in the future, like in a third Spider-Man game or second Spider-Man game, Peter Parker will, spoiler alert, but in the comics, Peter Parker died in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, and then Miles Morales became the new Spider-Man. So maybe in the games they could do that, and that would just be a big WTF moment. I can just imagine my reaction, be like, what the fuck happened? That would be so cool. And yeah, I really hope they do that, because the thing is, this is, you know, disconnected from the Marvel movies. They do whatever they want. Here, this is actually coming out after Spider-Man Homecoming, so this is its own thing, and that makes me more excited, because they can do stuff like Miles Morales, where previous Spider-Man games they could not do that, but here they can actually do that. And again, all this creativity is very exciting. And Insomniac Games, they're a great company. They've made Ratchet & Clank, you know, Sunset Overdrive. They've made great games, also Spyro in the past. So they're a great company, BD, doing this game. So very excited for all that. Now, one thing I want to mention is when you're like, you know, using your webs and you're slinging through, you know, swinging through the sea, the webs are actually going onto the buildings, which is the best way to do web swinging in the Spider-Man game. And I can just imagine if you're a Marvel fan, you would have been excited as hell. Because me, I'm of course a very big DC fan. So I get more excited over DC stuff like, you know, Injustice or DC movies. That's why this channel is primarily focused on DC, as that's my passion. But Marvel, if there's anything cool happening with Marvel, you bet your ass I'm definitely going to be talking about it, like Spider-Man. Like, if I'm this excited, I can't imagine someone who's actually, like, read a bunch of Spider-Man. Like, I've read Spider-Man comics, but not that much as I've read, like, Batman comics and Superman comics. So, oh my god, this game just looks really good. And when you're chasing through that helicopter, like, there's so much destruction. Like, we saw destruction on, like, buildings and all that. And again, I don't want to talk about production value, but damn, production value looks pretty good. And I'm wondering if we're going to see more of that in the game. Like, maybe are we going to have boss battles in the streets where, like, let's say, for example, again, this is definitely probably not going to happen, but let's just have a Venom there. Although he's probably not going to be in the game. But let's say Venom was there and he threw a car at you. Then you dodged it, but then the car went into a building and that had like a massive, like there's a hole in that building now. Like, could you imagine the destruction potential if you're doing boss fights and all that? And I do hope there are boss fights in this game, as boss fights are like the really fun part of superhero games like the Batman Arkham games. People love like the Mr. Freeze boss fight. And you know, Spider-Man can definitely have some great boss fights. So I'm very excited for this Spider-Man PS4. And overall, Mr. Negative, I don't really know much about him, but I do know he was in, I think, the Dan Slott comics, which, you know, Dan Slott, pretty much, he wrote Spider-Man after the whole Spider-Man One More Day, which, by the way, Spider-Man One More Day is a crap storyline. Do not read Spider-Man One More Day. That comic sucks, and it ruined the marriage, you know. But yeah, enough of the One More Day. Like, I know how much people hate that, and even I don't like it, because it's just awfully written. But again, we're not going to be talking about that. But yeah, Mr. Negative, he seems cool. You know, maybe I'll learn some more stuff about Spider-Man and his villains. And there are definitely going to be more than 2 villains in this game. We even saw some, you know, Osborn stuff, like there's an Osborn billboard where it says, I like Osborn for president. And I don't know if, you know, Norman Osborn ever ran for president. I don't recall that ever happening in the comics. But yeah, if the Green Goblin is in this game, I'm going to love that, because the Green Goblin and Venom are my 2 favorite Spider-Man villains. Like, for the DC characters, Batman has like the best villains, but Spider-Man, I think he has the best villains in the Marvel side. So yeah, like, definitely, like, Spider-Man games definitely should have, like, you know, some villains in there that fit. And yes, just, you know, Mr. Negative is something we've never seen in the movies or games. So he was only in the comics, so to have him here for a bunch of new people, it's very cool how they're introducing more newer, you know, characters from the comics, like Miles Morales, for example. He's a pretty popular character. He was even on this Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, which isn't very good, by the way. But yeah, Miles Morales being in here is very cool, and that gets me excited if we're actually going to be doing sequels to this game. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking about this, because, you know, I might get onto the point where I'm just saying the same things over and over again. So yeah, overall, this, you know, boy, yeah, the graphics look incredible. The gameplay is taken from the Arkham games, so practically the Arkham games like perfected that type of gameplay. So I'm totally okay with them using it in this game, because, you don't want the the controls to be crap. You want the controls to be smooth as butter, and the controls look really good. And the the web swinging looks pretty good, better than how it did in like the Amazing Spider-Man 2 game, which the web swinging was just average in that. Here the web swinging should be thrilling, it should be fun like Spider-Man 2, which we have not got good web swinging since the Spider-Man 2 game, or amazing web swinging since the Spider-Man 2 game. But yeah, pretty much that is all my thoughts on this Spider-Man PS4 game. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and share. And if you come across the channel for the first time, why not subscribe, as we might be making more Spider-Man PS4 videos if you guys want it, so remember to leave a like for that. But anyway, that has been Magma Infinity signing out. Peace.